Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we've got the Star card. This is a card of destiny. I feel like you're someone very in tune with spirit. I feel like you have a spiritual practice. I feel like you do a lot of the internal work. Okay? Because the Star card, the first thing it does is if we allow the light to come in, the light will start showing us where our blockages are, where our knots of karma might be, where our triggers, buttons, weak spots, sore spots, okay? And the blockages. And once we start looking at those, that light can then spill out from us. Not only does that radiate our spiritual light out into the world, right? But it also illuminates the yellow brick road for us, to our destiny, okay? The path that we are meant to follow. And that process, phase 1 and phase 2, is sort of clearing us out so that we can become a clear channel for the spiritual light. The Star card is trying to get us to remember that we are the magician. The magician is the one who is the wand, the hollow tube, the conduit, right? The conductor of that spiritual current. So the Star card in your life, this energy is creating in you your ability to channel the spiritual light through you, revealing to you who you are, why you're here, your destiny, what you're made of, right? Where you're going in life. So let's put this card into a little bit of context. I feel like you've been doing a lot of the spiritual work. Oh, well, there's your yellow brick road. And I feel that you have been, you've been doing a lot of the karmic work. You've been letting a lot of things go. You've been doing this inner development, spiritual development and growth, and it's paying off, because you are getting closer and closer to your best life. This is a 10 of Pentacles. This is your best life, okay? And Spirit wants you to achieve your very best life. This is the card of wealth, okay? And I feel like this is coming fast into your life now. We've got the Fool underneath. The Fool's the one that's walking the yellow brick road. You can see the yellow behind the Fool, and that is that yellow brick road. We have the Art or Temperance card. You've done the work, the phase 1 of the work. Well, really in all phases, right? This is us on the blacksmith's anvil. Here we have a Knight of Wands and a Princess of Wands. So a lot of kind of forward-moving, fast-moving, spontaneous, creative energy going forward, a lot of motivation, okay? There's a big surge of energy happening right now. We got a 3 of Pentacles over here. There is your Prince of Pentacles, steady as she goes, the Builder energy. That's the card, the fixed earth energy that represents the Taurus energy in action, okay? And we have the 10 of Cups, yes, perfect. And the Chariot. So I feel like you're arriving. I really do. I feel like this is a big shift for you. I feel like we're going from the blacksmith's anvil to a life of love and bliss and pleasure and just stability. I feel like the Chariot's kind of parked here at your new life, yeah? So I feel like we've arrived somewhere, because this is a lot of struggle. This is when you're out there in life and you're getting hammered by life. This, indeed, is this is something different. This is a release. This is a freedom. This is the Fool saying, I'm out of that pressure cooker finally, and I'm going to go park my butt right here in my good life, you know? And I think that the 10 of Cups is it's in a very interesting position, because it's kind of the difficulty. And I think it's difficulty. The difficulty is for you to accept that this is real. Okay, that what you're accomplishing is really meant for you, and it's good, and it's not going to be taken away. And you have to obviously maintain it and keep building on it and keep building the relationships. But this is meant for you. And it's kind of like somebody who they're finally successful, but they've been in the pressure cooker for so long. They're like, what? Success for me? Me? No way, right? And Spirit's saying, yeah, this is for you. Embrace it, enjoy it, don't go crazy with it, build upon it, make it work for you, right? And it's gonna be wonderful, right? Butterflies are important for you. I don't know, you have a butterfly tattoo or you draw pictures of butterflies. I feel like it's an important spiritual symbol for you. Okay, and I feel like we're finally going through that phase where maybe now we're emerging as the butterfly. We've been in the chrysalis for a long time. And in what happens inside the chrysalis, right? You get turned into a black slime, a sludge. Everything you were gets broken down, right? It's kind of like we're in the pressure cooker, right? In the chrysalis. And I think you're emerging as that pure soul, the pure spirit. This Fool energy is in you. And it's ready to have some fun. It's ready to have a good life. It's ready to feel good. It's ready to get out of there. It's ready for the fresh air. Okay? Anyway. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Bubo, our mechanical owl, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments. Okay? Now, as we look around the room, we see 1, 2, 3 major arcana, 4. We don't want to forget about our star. We have 4 major arcana energies. And I think that they are very, very fine. I think they're wonderful. I think the pressure cooker, the art or temperance card, is all the hard work that you've ever put into your life. And it's paying off now. I think this is the difficult spiritual work. Okay? And this is the difficult the challenging circumstances that you have conquered. Okay? And you are deserving of this wealth. And these are resources coming in. This is material wealth coming in. I feel like this is big time financial windfall. I think what it's leading to is your ability to take some of this resource and convert it to energy. Okay? This is you kind of building yourself up and molding and shaping yourself, okay, into the kind of person that can create this wealth, because this is you doing. Nothing's being handed to you. Let's be clear. This is through your hard work, okay? But you deserve this, and this is coming down the line for you right now. It's going to lead to a lot of freedom for you, and that freedom, well, it's going to come with it a lot of responsibility, especially as the Princess of Wands is a very impulsive card. It's kind of like saying, ooh, something's shining. I'm going to buy it. I don't care how much. I'm not even going to look at the price tag. But in a good way, this card is talking about your ability now to go and experiment. That you've been in the pressure cooker, now that you're free. The Fool and the Princess of Wands and the Knight of Wands, all these cards together are saying you have the freedom. You've earned the freedom. You have the resources now for this experimentation to go out into the world, travel, figure out where you want to live, who you want to be, try new things, try new hobbies, learn a new skill, pick up an instrument, do things that you've always wanted to do. When you're in the pressure cooker, it's kind of like very serious. Here, in this card, this is a freedom. This is saying, go and have fun. Go and experiment. Go and try different things in life. Okay? This is the card of kind of dancing with the tiger. Go dance with the tigers. And do something that you've kind of always wanted to do, but you always felt was irresponsible or too risky, or like, well, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources for it. I feel like all that's changing, but we do want to be responsible. The one thing that we see with all of these cards is a little bit of impulsivity. The Fool, they're not very responsible. The fire energies up here, they're not very responsible. I feel like you are, Taurus. You have your builder, the Prince of Pentacles in the environment, and even with the Chariot is a discipline and a devotion here. So I feel like we have the discipline in order to not be reckless, even if we're going to be more experimental. Okay, I feel like there is a soul in you that wants to get out and just wants to travel. Like I feel like travel probably is a big thing for you, even though we did say we're parking the Chariot. Maybe we're loading up the car here and we're going to go on a road trip. Okay. I feel as if you're going through a period perhaps of like decluttering things, right? I feel like we're maybe we're trying to find a system that works for us now, because the last thing you want with this Ten of Pentacles, you don't want this to be cluttered. I feel like you're someone that wants kind of almost minimalist. It's kind of like only what I can pack in a car, you know? So anyway, we've got our majors, we've got the fire, we've got the good water energy. We don't have any air cards, no swords cards here at all. We've got earth and earth and earth, okay? Spirit is leading you to your best life. You're traveling that yellow brick road, and I feel like you're reaching a very important point here. Whether this is the finish line, I don't know if this is home base, but it feels like this is a pretty substantial goal. Okay? But the thing about the Ten of Pentacles is that it's open-ended. The journey does not have to stop here. Okay? We know that the 10, right, 1 and 0 is just a return to unity. The 10 is just another way of saying an infinite number of something. It's just it can continue and continue. It's never ending, right? It's kind of this eternal thing. And what that means in the terms of the tarot is that you're not just getting a finite amount. It's not just a briefcase full of money that says, here you go, that's it. It's Spirit's way of saying, you can keep this going, you can expand upon this, you can make this grow into something more. It's just because we're base 10, right? So it's just, we have 8, 9, 10, and then an infinite number. But it's open-ended. Like I tell my daughter, if you can count to 10, you can count to any number you want. And that's just it. We're reaching a point now where we get to define our own goals. Okay, we get to define our own kind of, standards and desire. We get to define ourselves. We get to define our own path. And so that's the wealth that's being offered to you right now. And I think a lot of that is material wealth, but it's also a type of confidence. And it's also, I think, a lot of important relationships and connections for you. So the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles is wealth. It's not just financial wealth. It's kind of the card that asks, what is the picture of your best life? Okay? Where is the yellow brick road taking you? We have to maybe start to think of that. Where am I going? What do I want my life to look like? Maybe we're not sure. So we go and we experiment. Maybe we have a general outline, general framework. I know what I want it to look like, more or less. Okay? You got your pets, your plants, your people. What else is in there? And so I always say, get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil, draw a picture of your best life. What does that picture look like? Do it in pencil, because it's going to change over time. As we get more experience, as we go and experience the world outside the pressure cooker, there's a big wide world out here, outside the pressure cooker. Okay? And Spirit, in a way, is saying that you've suffered enough, you've been banged around, you've been hammered enough by life. It's time for you to go and enjoy the good life. Okay? And the fool's ready. The fool is always ready for change, because the fool loves novelty. The fool doesn't care what you're doing, just so long as you've never done it before. Okay? And in that sense, the fool is quite irresponsible. The fool doesn't have a compass. It's kind of a feather in the wind, right? And that's okay. We don't need a direction right now, because it kind of feels as if we've had a very, very strict or rigid direction in the past in that pressure cooker with that art or temperance card, that we've been in there for so long that I don't want to have a plan. I don't want to have a direction right now. I just want to be free. I just want to frolic. I just want to dance around, I want Spirit to take me wherever Spirit wants, because I'm done with being so concentrated. Maybe this was school. Maybe this was a bad relationship. Maybe this was a very difficult and challenging financial situation. Maybe this was a long career right? We're done with having a plan. We're done with having like a focus, you know. We just kind of, we want to be a feather on the cosmic wind. Now don't forget the star is Aquarius. It's an air energy, right? So it kind of makes sense. We want to be the fool kind of riding the starlight wherever it's going. Yeah. And that, I think, it's taken you to a lot of new adventures, a lot more fun, a lot more excitement, a lot more tigers, a lot more dancing. You know, I feel like I feel like you are a dancer, right? I feel like you've danced a lot in your life, or you want to now. And also Spirit's showing me like a spice rack, or like a cupboard that's full of spices, like for cooking. So maybe that's kind of where we're getting more creative. We're getting more experimental. We've done things maybe a certain way for a long time. We're done with all that. Done with all that, right? So your Knight of Wands at the top here is a surge of energy. To me, that feels like we're being carried away by something, and we're not second guessing it. We don't want to. It's almost like you've had to plan everything and organize everything and follow a schedule for years and years and years, and now I don't want to think about it anymore. It's kind of, I don't know, maybe you've been in a situation where you've had to make all the decisions. And now, because there's no swords cards, you're like, I don't want to make another decision in my life. I'm done deciding things. I want Spirit to decide. I want luck, fate, or chance to decide. I don't care who it is. I'll flip a coin, right? But really what this card is saying that is, if the moment catches you, whoosh, the horse is running away with us, that we're just going. We're not holding ourselves back. We're not hesitating. We're not doubting. Maybe you've lived a life where every impulse you've had, you said, well, wait, let me think about it. You know, and we've talked ourselves out of a bunch of stuff in life. Now we're saying, if I feel it, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it happen. Within reason, of course, within reason. We still have discipline and focus, but we're way more open to the spontaneity of life now. Maybe we've always been open to that, but the fool has been locked up in a pressure cooker. The fool hasn't been able to come out and play. Now I think we're not trying to make decisions. We're not letting our rational mind, so-called rational mind, decide everything anymore. We're letting instinct, we're letting gut, we're letting intuition, we're letting the starlight, we're letting the yellow brick road. Maybe it's been like a case where we've been doing the work, we've seen the yellow brick road, but it's always like, well, I'm in the pressure cooker today, I can't really follow the yellow brick road. I feel like now we're saying, nah, I'm done with all that. I'm following that yellow brick road, wherever it's leading me. So there's a real openness. There's a real openness, and there's a real letting go. And see, the fool's wide open. The fool has let go of everything. He's ready for the excitement that this unknown path, this unknown adventure is offering us. Okay. Well, it could be even that, you didn't always trust yourself. That you didn't always give yourself room to just be, or give yourself permission to just be carried away by what's going on inside of you, by what your impulses are, what you're feeling, and that sort of thing. Okay, we got to be careful with the Princess of Wands, like I said, because this is the card that kind of goes around and just starts little fires in life. Just kind of like causes trouble. So we have to keep a handle on this one a little bit, so that it doesn't just get us into trouble by stepping on a tiger's tail. But we can dance with that energy, and I think we're trusting that we're going to be well taken care of, and that we can be responsible. That we can let loose a little bit, and we can dance and have fun, knowing that I trust myself to be okay. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And let's start with our Three of Pentacles. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. We're starting with the Three of Pentacles. It's a card of work. And your general energy is one of work. So maybe that's the pressure cooker energy, right? It's kind of like you've been doing a lot of work. And maybe all of that work now, we need a little bit of reprieve. Maybe Monday through Friday, you're working double shifts. Well, when Friday night gets here, let go of work and just be, just be free. Just do whatever happens on the weekend. When the weekend comes, I don't want to think about work. I don't want to make decisions. I don't want to have to be the boss. I don't want to have to figure out problems. I don't want to have to, make big kind of company-wide decisions, top-level decisions or something, or like, we don't want to stress out about that stuff. I just want to let things function as they're functioning, okay? And so I think that's going to be very important for you, because your general energy really is one of, consistency. I mean, you're Taurus, you're the builder, you're the Prince of Pentacles. There's a consistency in you. There's someone who shows up every day. And I think that maybe this is like a rite of passage or a life transition for you. I don't know, maybe you're retiring, maybe we're getting out of the pressure cooker and getting that freedom, but you're still the person that likes a little bit of organization. You still like to kind of have intentional thing. You like to do work and you like to have something to do. I think that 1, 2, 3, these three are going to keep you quite busy. But I know that you like a little bit of structure, okay? And so we might have to find a way to sort of still have our structure, but also have that free time and that spontaneity, okay? The builder energy in the environment, I think you're building very positive relationships in your life. Your friends, your family, they know you as somebody who is showing up on time, ready to do the work, doesn't complain, right? And is actually very consistent. We kind of see this is a different type of energy now. This is a little bit more unpredictable, these ones, okay? And so I don't know why Spirit's showing me people jumping off at like skinny dipping, or telling me to mention the skinny dipping. I don't know if that's something that you're kind of known for, or like, well, maybe when I was younger, or if it's like, if that's supposed to be a representative of like someone that just doesn't care, just letting it all out and just going to go and have some good fun, And so I feel like people are seeing another side of you. I feel like your life it's shifting. Your life's changing fast. It's a big shift in you. Going from, I think, this sort of very consistent, showing up every day, on time, maybe a little bit early, doing the work, like really a strong work ethic, to maybe a Princess of Wands who is just like, I can sleep in late, I can wake up whenever I want, I can eat whatever I want, I can go to bed when I want. If I don't want to leave the house today, if I don't want to get dressed, I don't have to. If I want to go ride the bus in my bathrobe, I will. It doesn't matter, right? So I feel like there's this kind of freedom going on, but you're still someone that likes to have a little bit of structure. Yeah, so I see that there's like a juxtaposition here in your energy. And, this might be literally like, Monday through Friday, Paul, but then Friday night hits and like, watch out, or it's like, I've been working a career for a long time. You're going through this transition where it's, maybe it's retirement. Maybe this is like that school year's over and this is now summertime, So summertime you is coming out. It still needs a little bit of structure. I think we have to perhaps let the Princess of Wands out a little bit and let it just sort of burn off some of its energy. It's like it got all sugared up and now you finally are just like letting it out of the gate to run around. Eventually it'll calm down and we'll say, okay, now I want to get a little system going. I want to get some kind of a structure. Maybe we need a routine. Maybe we still want to wake up early in the morning and start doing work, getting out in the garden or doing our exercises or doing our spiritual practice. We still want that kind of a structure, okay? The Ten of Cups, though, I think is really wild. I think that the combination of these two, the Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles, is what's inspiring our Princess of Wands. Because the fear was that we would have, we'd have a lot of money to show for all our work, let's say. Let's say the worry was that, I was going to suffer a lot in the pressure cooker, but I was going to create something, okay? Work hard to get paid. It makes sense. But the Ten of Cups is kind of like saying, I didn't know that I would really like be satisfied in life, because sometimes we get all the Ten of Pentacles, but it's empty. They're empty shells. Why? Because there's no feeling to it. Because it doesn't mean anything to us. We don't feel happy. We don't feel good with it. It's just, it is something. It's a material thing, but there's no soul to it. I feel like you've got the soul. I feel like you're creating a life and you are receiving this through your hard work and through your fate and destiny as well. You're receiving it, and you're going to realize that you deserve it. You're going to allow yourself to celebrate it, and I feel like it's solving a lot of problems. I feel like with the Ten of Cups, it's this feeling of contentment. So I wonder if one of your worries was that, I'd get my Ten of Pentacles, but what if it's not enough? What if I get the Ten of Pentacles, but I still don't feel happy? What does that mean for me? What does that mean if I get everything I've ever wanted in life, but I still don't feel fulfilled? And that's kind of the worry here. And the fact, I think, that we are getting this card, even if this card's in the position of the sort of obstacle, I think is a very good sign. So I think that it really is saying we don't know exactly what all the details of our life are supposed to be. I don't know all the answers, but I know how I want it to feel. And perhaps we're going to continue to push forward in life and experiment and dance and dance with the tigers and all that stuff, and go after this to feel this kind of contentment. I'm gonna have to explore life a little bit to know what really makes me content. Okay, the feeling as if everything is perfect right now and I don't need anything else. You see. Because on paper, it seems like this should be enough. And it is. If these two cards can match up, then it's saying I have just the right amount and I'm perfect. I got my pets, my plants, my people. I don't need anything else. I just want to live my life. I just want to exist and be here with my people and my stuff and live my life and have my hobbies and have my activities. I'm not striving for anything. I'm just living. Just living. Okay? And of course, we see the Chariot there at the end. I feel like you're pretty family oriented. I think that you have done a lot of work for the sake of your family. Okay, maybe you're married, maybe you have kids, something like this. Maybe it's just your pets and your plants. I feel like you've done a lot of work and you've sacrificed a lot. This is a card of devotion and loyalty, and it usually is something higher than us, something beyond ego that we're in service to. Okay, feels like it's family, or maybe it's the business, or maybe it's just a kind of a spiritual destiny that we're in service to. But I feel like we have arrived at that place where we feel like we've succeeded in the mission. Yeah, and when we feel like we've succeeded in the mission, if we really allow ourselves to feel that, and that contentment, and that satiety, that I'm fulfilled, I've completed the mission, then to me it feels like a really big shift. It feels like a shift toward freedom. It feels like we can finally take the armor off and go skinny dipping, that we can finally just, leave it there on the beach, and we don't have to pick it up again unless we want to. And I mean, who knows what the future will bring. If we have an inspiration for a new mission in life, it could totally happen. But to me, it feels like, at least for now, we're going to take this armor off and we're just going to be who we are and live our life. We're not striving for anything. It's kind of like it's almost thank you for your service. Yeah, and maybe you're a military person. If you aren't, literally, thank you for your service. Because I feel like this is kind of like we're getting out, and we're set for life. We're getting out, and we can just figure things out from here. I think right now, I don't want to have a plan. I don't want to follow orders. I don't want anybody barking at me. I don't want to have a routine or a schedule. I just want to be free for a little while. And then I'll figure out how to get a routine and how to get things going from there, It feels really good. Let's look at the mystery card. Empress card. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Oh, a 10 of Cups. Well, that's okay too. This is that feeling. Pets, plants, people, you got your family, you got this gratitude, you've got everything you need. It's kind of like we're giving thanks to the universe, because thank you, universe, I have everything I need right now. Everything I need right now. And that may change down the road. I may say, oh, hey, you know what? I kind of want a new shiny something or other, whatever. But right now, in this moment, got everything I need, Really nice. Really nice. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Taurus Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.